Hi everybody, I am Kim. I'm a little bit early. I'm just waiting for us to start Pilates. So I wanted to come on a minute early. We're testing out a brand new live stream type thing to give you a better resolution. So my IT husband has been trying some things out. We're gonna see if it works today. If it doesn't work, great, we'll go back to the old way. So just let us know your thoughts. There will be a little bit of a delay. So I know for me, like I talk and then I can see it a couple minutes later. It's even more delayed on the other screen. So there will be a delay. So I might be slow to respond to any messages. Hi, Velda. So if there is like things that you have, like comments or questions and things like that, I will try my best to respond when I see them. But if not, I will always check in after the class and respond to everything. So take some time. I think we have a couple minutes, 2 minutes-ish. So grab a mat, grab some water. We are not going to be standing today. We will be doing some side lying and some kneeling. So if you do have like a small, I'm trying to figure out if you can see it, towel, make sure you grab that if you find that you have like issues with the knees or the hips or just feeling some soreness in those joints. So grab this. This is also great for wrist issues. I know some folks originally were saying that the bending at the wrist for like planks was a little much. If you can't come to that fist right away, this is another choice to just kind of ball it up and use that like just a little bit more like give, let the fingertips roll over the top and not as much pressure on the wrist. So great towel. All right, so take some time, grab that stuff. We'll wait just a little bit longer. I have no idea if anyone's here. I know Velda and Luca's here. Hi, Kim. So I've got at least 3. So that's good. And Elaine, hi, Elaine. Wonderful. So I know I at least have some of you out there. So again, we are here for Pilates. We've got 1 minute. So we'll do the intro spiel. So my name is Kim. I teach Pilates at Hampshire Hills. I teach on Thursdays and I teach a couple other classes as well. But during this amazing quarantine, you get to see me on Saturdays at 11. So I will be here. Just a reminder that this is a virtual class. Is it backwards? Everything's backwards. So it is a virtual class. I cannot adjust you. I cannot correct any moves that you make. I wish I could. Gosh, I miss you guys so much. So nothing more than being able to see you and practice with you in person would be amazing. But until we can, you have to just practice at your own ability. Listen to your body. Don't do something that you know that you can't do. Don't do something that you might hurt yourself. Just, pay attention. Just use your smarts. But anyways, we are going to start kneeling today. So I think it's 11, so let's give it a go. So come on back to your mat. Oh, and I should add, sorry, I am not using any music. So if you want to add in some music in the background, please feel free to do so. I think the volume was really good last week. I'm in a new space. I'm using a whole new setup. So we're going to just kind of keep trying things out, seeing what works. This will hopefully give us a much better, much clearer picture, and then be able to just work better for you guys. So let's give it a shot. All right, so come to your mats, please. And we're going to start kneeling. And I'm kind of in that angle, but that way you can see me. So I want your knees to be stacked right underneath the hips. And I want just the feet to just rest behind. So that nice long leg here. Perfect. Now roll the shoulder blades down the back and then zip up that midline. We're going to brace the lower belly here. So pulling in tight like you're trying to put on a belt here. And I know there's comments and I can't even see them already. I see a hi. Hi, Lisa. All right, perfect. So brace the belly and then pull in the belly tight. So like you're trying to put on the pants. Now, tuck the tailbone. Sorry, I'm already losing my train of thought. Tuck the tailbone and then just try to center everything over the knees. So you're one long line here. Now, we're going to start with just some arm circles. So taking the arms out front, right at shoulder height. Drop the shoulders so they're away from the ears and there's that space there. So the head can look around softly. The spine is long, but let the chin tuck so it grows even longer. Now take the hands long or bring a fist to them. We're going to take one arm and rotate it all the way around like a big windmill, peeking to the back of the room, rolling to the floor, and then stacking right to the front again. Now stay with that one hand, rotating to the back, same direction, feeling the twist right through maybe the belly button, right through that breastbone, and rotate it one more time. Keeping the shoulders dropped away from the ears, letting the other arm stay resting, trying not to shift around. Now take this arm circle in the opposite direction. So bringing it down towards the floor, lifting up, and circling around. Good. Coming again. We'll do 3 big circles in each direction. Feeling the opening through the spine. Last one here. It's awful, I don't even know if I switch directions. No, switch hands. Bring the other hand down, circle to the back, and all the way to the front. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, keeping that belly button pulled in nice and tight. The spine is long, and you're rotating right from that belly button, breastbone as you circle around. This time when you land, I want you to switch directions. Come over the top, reaching, trying to touch the back of the room, and circling. Good. So finding that nice big opening through the arms. If you haven't seen yet, we're going to do a lot of arm focus today. Paying attention to the shoulder blades, the back, the upper back, spine, all that good stuff. Good. Now take the arms, we'll reach them to the sky, and we're going to shift back, bringing our tailbone above our bum, not touching back, reaching the chest behind, the chest in front, and the spine behind. So as you come through, almost like you're coming through with like that intense pose, shifting yourself forward and back, bracing the belly, really pulling it into the spine, shoulder blades still fall down the back. Nice long spine as you shift back and forth, bringing the tailbone right above the seat. You're about to sit down on those feet, but you're not going to. Take big breaths in. Think about the arms having weights, adding a little bit of pressure to them. And on the next one, we will keep the chest reaching forward, the tailbone touching back. Take the arms, press them long, like a 100, and I want you to push them to the back of the room. Nice long arms, keep firing them behind, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, feeling the shoulder blades as they pull down the back. Good, pressing the arms in one long line behind. Take 3 more, 2, last one. Arms will reach, chest stays where it is. The arms will snow angel to the sky and reach down behind. If you'd like a little bit more, bring the chest a little bit further forward, the tailbone a little bit more back. Almost like you're sitting down, finding that more intense pose. Good, reaching and rolling through the arms. Take one more big reach here. And when the arms pass by that T, stop here. We'll take the elbows, bend them, bring the palms in, and then flip the wrist, press them out. Good, so the chest continues to reach away. Hopefully you're feeling it within the belly, the back, maybe in the shoulders, the arms where they move. Feeling it in the quads a little bit more, bringing a little bit more heat and breath. Now think about the hands. Think about them holding weight, so you're adding a little bit more pressure as you press through the sky. Good, break that air away. Last one, as you come out wide, hold here, take the arms, tiny little micro circles. Doesn't matter which direction you start in, because we will finish off in the other one. Good, keep rotating through, dropping the shoulder blades. And when you get to the top, switch directions, come the other way. Find that breath. Brace the belly, grow taller through the spine. See if you can separate each rib cage. Good, let the arms float up and come to a big stretch. And then come down to that seated position, arms behind, or right beside. Now we're gonna come through with a seated cat and cow. So come to that kneeling position again, curling the spine, reaching forward, don't touch down through the hands, and then pull back, press the palms away, and roll the shoulders down the back, finding that back bend. Now come again, rolling through, brace the belly, pull it in nice and tight, press through the back, feel that stretch, and then sit tall again. One more time, come forward. And reach away. Perfect. All right, coming to a tabletop position. I'm hoping you guys can see me okay. We're gonna bring the wrists right underneath the shoulder blades. And then I want you to bring the knees right below the hips. So there is that space between them. So when you're coming here, I want you to look like this, okay? So the feet rest nice and long right behind the legs. No tucking of the toes, just let them land flat. Now the arms are gonna press down, and I want you to just find that strong footing first. So the spine should be long, chin is tucked. So nice long line from head to the tail here. Now pull the belly in, really pull it into the spine. So you're almost pulling that lower back, the back area, and pressing it up just a little bit here. So you still have that natural curve to the spine, but it's not like this much and it's not this much. It's right in that mid zone. All right, now pressing evenly, I'm gonna take my left arm. It's up to you which one you start with. Bringing the weight evenly between the right hand and both knees. Take the left arm and bring it to that T position, reaching to the side. Good, so stopping at shoulder height, and then I want you to just float it back. Now you're not going to touch down, but you're going to just extend, reach, pulling through the fingertips, the arms, and then slowly bring it back below. So there's no shifting happening within the spine. It's still nice and long. It's still nice and flat. Feeling your strength through the arms. Good. Take one more here. Perfect. Bringing it back down. Same as before with that warm-up. We'll take the arm to the front, so reaching it long along the mat. And now rotate the spine, shifting and almost rolling through that shoulder, bringing a little bit more gaze to the chest as you roll around. Taking the arm again, floating it around. Now, as you're doing this, think about the obliques, really bracing them tight, pulling them in, growing through the spine so you can rotate and revolve even more. Taking one more in this direction. And when the hand comes below the shoulder, again, switch sides. Excuse me, switch directions. We'll switch sides in a little bit. So come around, feel the opening through the shoulder. I decided today is a good day to bring a little bit more peace back to the body. I don't know why, but this week has felt so heavy. And maybe it's the fact that we woke up to snow in the middle of April. But I need a little bit more stretch, a little bit more breath today. So we are gonna bring it. Good, let the hand touch down. Now take a minute if you need it, find that strong footing again, because we're gonna take off the back opposite leg. So the same front arm will be working, and then the opposite leg. So you'll see it kind of tops you a little bit off balance here. You may press a little bit more to the front of the room. Squeeze the armpit in the back to bring yourself back center again. And then take the arm, the leg, and bring them to pointers. They both lift up to that hip height, and then lower them back down for a tap. Perfect. So lifting up and lowering down. If this is, keep going. If this is too much on the wrist, find that flexed hand pressing through the palms, or add in the towel and add in just a little bit less of the bend. But keep lifting and lowering. Take two more. Last one. On this last one, hold here. We're gonna bring the knee into the elbow, curling through the back, pressing the spine away, and then press long. Good, so curling through the spine, finding that nice big stretch, and then extending. See how close you can get the knee to the elbow, really scooping the belly in tight, and then stopping right around that hip height as you extend. Last one. The arm will touch down, the leg will stay out. We'll take the hands right where they are underneath the chest, and we'll press through the knee, bringing the chest a little bit more in front of the hands. Now bringing the elbows into the side, we'll come through with some press-ups. So that leg stays nice and lifted, good. Pull the elbows into the spine, bring those shoulder blades back, really tuck them down. And as you shift forward, bring the chest in front of the hands. Find more press through the leg. Good, trust yourself. One more. Good, now bring that knee down and bring yourself back for a child's pose if you need to. Maybe stretch that wrist. Perfect, when you're ready, press through the hands again. This time the opposite hand will lift up. So we'll take the back hand, bringing it to the T, lifting up and lowering down. So reaching to the side, trying to avoid the shift. Try to avoid collapsing into the arms, the elbows. Find that nice soft bend to the elbows, but the strength through the arms. Good, one more here. Reaching out to the side. And back down, bringing in that big circle, so take the hand to the front, and then rolling through the spine as you reach towards the back of the room. Good, stay with this rolling, this reach. Keep going, I'm just gonna check comments just to make sure no one can't hear me. Awesome, I love it. I see lots of new names, and I also see my parents. Hi guys, keep going. So keep rolling through. Wonderful, keep opening up, bracing the belly. One more here. As the hand touches down right underneath the shoulders, I want you to switch directions. Press to the other direction, rolling through, and back. Keep going. Find those slow, steady breaths. And hopefully when we're done this, all the snow angels won't even matter because the snow will be gone. Last one, take that arm around, touching it down. Now find a strong footing, pressing through the front hand, the back leg, as we lift the front leg and the back hand. You ready to come back to that pointer? So bringing The squeeze to the shoulder, bringing yourself chest right to the midline of the mat. We'll lift up, opposite arm and leg, coming to that pointer. Nice long spine. Beautiful. Staying here, staying with the breath, staying with the focus. And last one, when we lift up, we're gonna stay with that lift, bringing the elbow into the knee, curling through the spine, and then pressing away nice and long. Good, reaching in and extending. Staying with this openness, the strength. 2 more. And our last one. Let that leg stay high. Bring the hand down right below the chest again. Coming back to those push-ups, so bring the chest a little bit in front of the hands. Bracing the belly nice and tall here. We'll start to lower down. Elbows stay close to the rib cage and lift back up again. Good. Coming again. Keeping the bum squeezed tight to keep that leg nice and high. Try to avoid pressing to the back knee. Bring yourself back to that midline. 1 more here. Good. 1 quick child pose. If you need it, come on back. Maybe rotate that wrist out. Feeling the opening through the chest, the back. We're bringing a little bit more heat, and that's where we want it. So coming back up to that tabletop position, this time we'll tuck our toes under. And we're going to lift off to a crouch. Pressing through the hands, the toes, lift the knees off about 2 inches off the ground, brace the belly, and then lower back down again. Perfect. Now again, press through the hands, roll the shoulder blades down the back, lift up, hold here, and lower back down. Good, coming again, pulling the belly in nice and tight, spine is long, lift up. Continuing to breathe in and out, lower back down. On the next one, we're gonna stay just a tiny bit longer, so find strong hands, strong feet. Lift up, hold here. Continuing to breathe. Good, find your breath. 1 more breath. Lower down. No option to stay in that crouch position or keep the knees down. We're gonna come through with a little bit of a tricep push-up. So knees will stay down or knees can be lifted. Bring the elbows in towards the knees and then press up. Good, so wherever you are, feel the opening, feel that strength right through the back of the arms here. Keep lifting and lowering. Chest is peeking down towards the floor. Squeezing through the back of the arms. 1 more here. Good. Knees touch down if they haven't yet. And bring the hands down all the way, like you pressed all the way down, so you're on your forearms here. So bum is almost in the air. The spine is still long. The toes are still tucked. We're going to crouch again. So hands can be inside, they can be out, doesn't quite matter. All that I care about is your forearms are down. Take the toes down and then lift up again. Holding here for just a breath. Lower back down again. So coming through again, pressing through the arms, widen through the shoulders, pull them away from the ears, lift off, and drop back down. Good, coming again. Feeling your heartbeat, feel the breath. We are still moving and grooving. Stay with it. 1 more time. This next time we're going to hold a little bit longer. When you're ready, lift off, hold. Find the breath. Fight the urge to want to sit down. So see if you can lengthen through the spine. Pull the shoulder blades away from the ears just a bit longer. Stretch out. Perfect. Now take the feet away, walking almost to that hover plank. Drop the tailbone down. Good. So the belly is really pulled in tight. Stay here a little longer. You've got it. 1 more really big breath. Pull that belly in. Strengthen through the back. Squeeze the bum. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Now press up. Find a dolphin pose. So maybe you need to walk the feet in just a little bit. It's almost like a down dog. If this doesn't feel quite right, feel free to bring your knees down and press back to that child's pose, but really press through the elbows. So while the feet are here, see if you can almost kind of walk the dog. Stretch out the legs. Continuing to pull the shoulder blades into the tailbone, all the way down the back. 1 more big breath here. And drop to the knees. Nice job. Come all the way back to a full child's pose. Let the elbows kind of lift off if they need to. Feel the length through the arms. Now take the front arm, take it underneath, thread the needle, and see if you can stretch out the shoulder just a little bit here. We have a little bit more shoulder work to come, so We want to give ourselves those moments to stretch. When you're ready, switch sides, please. Come to the other side, stretching through. Slow down the breath. One more big breath. Perfect. Now we are going to come to a side plank series. So if you do have a towel, feel free to grab it if you find that you have a little bit more rough ground to work with, like if you're on hardwood floors, maybe grab that. For me, I'm on this really thick carpet, so I can't add any more. But I want you to take your elbow down towards the floor. Perfect. Now, elbow is down, and I want your bottom knee to be down as well. This entire series you can do from the hip, from the bum if you need to, but I want to challenge you to try a couple reps at least, lift it off so you can engage those obliques to really open up the chest. Now the shoulder is right over the elbow, the arm is long here. We're going to take our leg long that's on the top, and our hand can come to the sky, can come to the hip, or it can come down for a little bit more support. Truly what matters, whatever works for you today. So I'm going to take my arm to the sky. My top leg is going to lift off and lower down. I need to make sure though before I roll that my hips are stacked, my belly's pulled in, spine is still long. So if you peeked from the sky, you would see just like the hips, the shoulders, everything one long line. All right, when you're ready, take that top leg, squeeze the bum, and lift up the leg, lifting and lowering. Now, if this is too much on the elbow, I want you to take it to that full plank here. Good. Continue to stack the shoulder right underneath the. Perfect. So lifting up and lowering. Take two more. And last one. Keep that leg nice and lifted. We'll take the top arm overhead and find a nice big side stretch here. Now take the shoulder blade, really pull it down so you're wrapping it in back. So revolve the chest, the shoulder, and see if you can peek at the sky. And then let that top leg stretch down and really press to the side now, even more. Good. Now we're going to add in a little bit of a stretch and a little bit of work here. So take that elbow into the knee, pulling it into the side, and then extend long. Adding in that stretch if you'd like, or just stay reaching. Pulling it in and pressing away. Finding your breath. Continuing to open up through the chest, the hips, but keep them nice and stacked. Take one more here. Keeping that leg elevated, we'll take the hand right to the temple here, rotating through the chest. The leg stays high and lifted. We'll bring the chest square towards the floor. The elbow can float down and try to tap at the hand, the floor if it would like, and then rotate back up. So continue to roll here. I'm going to come up so you can see me. I want you to pull that side body in. So you're pressing through here, and then you're simply just rotating through, finding that belly button, shifting yourself forward, around, and then back. Stay stacked through the hips and the shoulders. Good, keep coming here. Knee stays down, leg stays lifted if it can. And remember, you always have the option to come down to the hip. It would just look a little bit more like this. Still continuing to brace the belly and open up. Last one here. We'll bring both hands down and both knees down. Take a minute if you need. Stack through the knees, stack through the hips. Now taking the hands, both hands, palms will be towards the floor. And now we need to find almost a twist through the spine so we can square ourselves off. So we look a bit like a mermaid here. Lift off through the hips. Let the knees continue to be stacked. So belly's in tight, knees are stacked, and you find that rotation right from the belly button as you peek towards the floor. We're going to come through with some push-ups. Bringing the elbows in right next to the spine, right next to the belly. Now press. You'll find that you're a little off center, and that's okay, that's what we want. Keep squeezing through the arms, the shoulders. Take 3 more. Good. 2 more. And last one. Perfect. We are going to roll to our backs, coming to a seated position. I'm going to float around so you can see me this way because I think it's a little easier to view. So hopefully it doesn't mess me up too much in the long run here. When you're ready, we'll come back to the other side, but not yet. We're going to come through a couple other things first. So we're going to take our feet towards the mat, towards the floor here, and the knees will stack right about hip width apart. Now we're seated up, so we're on our sits bones, spine is long, the arms are pulled away, right, and stacked in front. Now, what I want you to do before we do anything is roll back. So finding if your feet are in the right position for you. Tuck the tailbone, gently roll down one vertebrae at a time. We'll see if I hit the wall behind me. And then just reach the arms overhead. Good. Now brace the belly, leading with the hands. The hands will start to circle. The chin will tuck as the arms become to the sky, bringing them to that corner wall and start to peel the spine off, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Perfect. I'm going to come this way just a tiny bit. Now stay with that roll back. Legs can maybe walk away a little bit further if they need to. Brace the belly, roll down one vertebrae at a time, keeping the spine long. Tuck the rib cage in. Again, floating the arms overhead. Bracing the belly and rolling all the way up to that seated position. Good. Coming again, scooping through, rolling down. Finding a nice long spine. And rolling back up. This time when we come up to sit, I want you to scoop through the belly, come back like you're rolling back, but stay here in that almost like halfway position. So the belly button's pulled in tight, the spine is long, chin is tucked, arms are still long, shoulders are dropped away from the ears. Now we're gonna start with alternating leg and arm lift. So I'm gonna take my front arm, reaching it to that T, but I'm also gonna lift my back leg at the same time. You have the option to drop the legs if you'd like. So back leg, front arm, finding that bend in the knee, lifting up, and then lowering back down. Now the chest stays lifted, the spine stays long. Good. And all that's happening is we're feeling that rotation through the shoulder, the hip as the knee lifts up, keeping that same 90-degree, a little bit more than bend. Good. Now the arm will float back, stopping right at that shoulder height, right in line, so not coming too far. Good. And coming back. We'll take one more to each direction, please. Last one. Good. Now come back for that roll up. We'll tuck the tailbone again, coming long, rolling one vertebrae at a time down to the mat. Arms scoop overhead. Spine stays long, chin starts to tuck, head lifts off, head, neck, and shoulders as you roll through the spine, coming back up to that seated stacked position. Good. Again, tuck the tailbone, come low. Start to roll through the spine. Reaching behind, trying to touch that wall behind you, again rolling up, finding that slow and steady inhale and exhale. Good, exhaling to prepare, inhaling as you start to roll, coming back, finding your big breaths as they fuel you back up again. Good, this time same as last, we'll find our scoop through the spine, that C shape, that C curve, belly button pulls in tight, arms drop away. Same thing as last time, but this time we'll add in a different reach with the leg and the arm. So front arm will come long, reaching towards the sky. Back leg will come long as well. So when you're ready, the leg lifts up. Option always to drop the leg movement if you'd like. Now as you lift through the arm, I want you to think about dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Do not crowd the ears. Don't come up here. Stay low. Almost bringing the arms to like those goal posts, pulling them away from the ears. Now the knee, it will just reach and extend, reaching to that corner wall. As you come through, as you reach, I want you to pay attention to the spine. Keep pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Good, try not to move too much here. Really brace the belly tall. Taking one more on each side. Last one here. Good, feet come down again, roll through the spine, come long. Brace the belly, stretch nice and long here, and roll back up. Good, stacking through the spine. Again, rolling the shoulder blades down the back. One vertebrae at a time as you roll down towards the mat. And back up. We have one more to go like this. Come on back, rolling through the spine. Reaching away and coming back up to that seated scooped position. Good, pulling the belly button in, finding that nice long spine. We're gonna take the legs, let them rest down for a minute here, and front arm, we'll find that big circle reaching towards the back of the mat, and I want you to rotate it all the way back towards the front. Now, instead of coming again for the other hand, we're going to switch directions, bringing it down towards the floor, reaching, rolling through the spine, and coming back. Now bring in the back leg. Let that float down. Reach all the way around, pulling the belly button into the spine. Now other side, other way. Now, as you come back to the front arm, option to stay here or lift that leg. Just adding in a little bit more thought through the spine, a little bit more challenge. It is your choice today if you'd like to go there. Leg will touch down, switching sides if you'd like. Good, one more on each side. Feeling that twist as it comes through, the revolving right from above the belly button. Trying to leave the hips, the legs as they are. Finding that stillness, that softness, that strength that's hiding there. Beautiful job. Come back through the roll up. Finding 3 nice big rolls through the spine. Scooping, rolling up to that seated position. Back down again. And one more time. Big breaths in and out. Coming back to that seated position. Bracing the core one more time, finding that C shape of the spine. Bringing it in nice and tight. Knees can stay where they are, or option to bring in that boat pose. We're going to take the arms out to the T and find tiny little circles here. So toes can always be touched down for like kind of that midway advanced option, or feet can be all the way down. When you've had enough, switch directions. Keep pulling the arms away. Keep bracing through the spine. And this time when we bring the feet down, we'll bring the legs nice and wide, the knees wide to that butterfly pose, and bring the head down towards the feet. Try to relax through the back. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a wag back and forth, releasing the lower back. See if you can travel it up through the arms, releasing the shoulder blades, feeling that softness. Perfect. Feet will come back down again to the mat. We're going to work a little bit of reverse table here. I know it's not everyone's favorite. It's definitely not mine, but it's always those poses that you don't love that you kind of need. So we're going to take the hands and bring them down a little bit past the shoulder blades. And I want the fingertips to reach towards your bum, and they're about shoulder width apart. Now feet, again, about hip width apart. And we're going to just lift off for a minute and just get used to having our butt kind of lifted in the air. If this is too much for the wrist, I want you to bring those fists back. That fist, bring it down, knuckles down, and then lift off here. Good. Now wherever you are, lift off, hold up here, and then I want you to see if you can lower through the hands. Keeping that butt elevated, just bring a tiny little micro bend to the elbows, getting into that tricep push-up again. If this doesn't quite work for you, the bum can stay down, and you can simply lower the chest back and forth. The back dips towards the mat. Perfect. Stay with this, find 2 more. Last one. Now we're going to take the lift off, hold here, and I want you to take the knees, bringing them above, stacking them above the ankles, squeeze the bum and lift off so you're in your reverse tabletop position. Now, swinging the bum through, find a release as you lift off, keeping the bum lifted. Good. Again, press through, rolling through the feet, lifting the chest up, squeeze the back body, and then roll through the spine as you come back through. Good. Take a minute to touch down if you need to. If not, come through one more time. And I want you to hold here. Find your breath. Challenge choice if you'd like it. Walk yourself out to that reverse plank. Both feet can come long. Or one foot, hold here for one more really, really big breath. When you've had just enough, tuck that tailbone down, and I want you to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Nice job. All right. So we are on your back. Fix your pants if you need to. Something about those rolling poses, we always kind of roll right out of them. So that's good. It means you're doing what you need to. So stacking the spine, coming long on the mat. Shoulders are nice and wide. Hips are wide. Spine's long, chin's tucked. All that good stuff that you need to think about. Now I want you to take your feet up and lift them up to that bug position. So the knees are stacked right over the hips, and then the feet can be in that 90-degree or maybe lifted away a little bit further. That adds a little bit more challenge to the lower back, the lower spine here. Now, I want you to take your back hand and press it to the front knee. So we're engaging that sling, that cross body activation here. And we're gonna press. We're not just like hanging out holding. We're pressing in, the knee to the hand to the knee. Now take that back leg and front arm and reach them to the sky. So we have a couple things happening. There's activation between the knee and the hand, and then we're finding the length from the ankle to the hip and then the wrist to the shoulder. Now taking that long leg, long arm, press them away, dropping to the floor, and then lifting back up to the sky again. So continuing to think about pressing into the opposite knee. If it's too much with the elevated knee, bring the foot down. You can still press. It's a little bit more to the thigh though. And I want you to pay attention to that leg drop. The leg and the arm that are dropping slowly, see how far they can go without a clicking or maybe a moving through the spine. Good, stay stacked and still. One more here. Hand and foot come to the sky. Now bring them to the front and back of the room. Still pulling away and pressing back in. Finding your breath. Take two more. And last one. Good. Same thing other side. So taking the front hand to the back knee, really press in, activating the core there. And then take the front leg, back arm, nice and tall to the sky. When you're ready, press through the foot, the hand, the knee, and then reach out, finding length through the leg and the hand as you extend away. Good. Now think about the opening through the hip, through the shoulder as you roll back. And then the squeeze as you activate through the hip flexors, the shoulder as you come back in. Beautiful work. Take two more. Finding your breath. Last one. When the legs come to the sky, the foot, the hand will reach to the front of the back of the room. Good, and back up. Beautiful. So finding that softness, that strength. We are having a slow burn today. So we are warming ourselves up from the inside out. And that's where that tiny little movement happens. That's where the strength comes from. We're finding all the different layers of muscles that we can target through tiny little movements. All right, bringing the knees in. Give yourself a nice big squeeze here, releasing through the hips. Maybe rolling around the back, seeing if you can find a little softness through the shoulders. The knees will then, again, stack right to that bug position, and the feet wherever they want to be. If it's 90 degrees or a little bit advanced, a little higher. Take the arms overhead, tuck the rib cage down, chin is still tucked, spine is still long. And we're gonna rotate them over, finding a press, and we'll press out to that bug or that, that diagonal position. So we're coming from bug to that 45-degree angle, pressing away, almost like we're coming to a 100. Good. Then again, floating back. Try to stop the knees as they get right above the hips. Press away, extending. Good, coming back. Rotating through, pressing through, extending long. And back in. As the legs press long, I want you to squeeze through the inner thighs. Feel that strength there? One more time here. Press out. Feel that extension. And then bring the knees back in. The hands will stay where they are. We'll stack the knees right over the hips. The arms will pump up and down for the Pilates 100. Brace the belly, pulling it into the spine. Shoulders stay nice and wide. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. On your next big breath in, slowly press the legs away, continuing to pump through the arms, squeezing the inner thighs. The toes reach away. The heels are pressed together. And then squeeze the legs back in, finding that bug position again. Arms continue to pump, pressing up and down, stretching away, feeling that opening through the spine. And come back in. Good, again, lifting, pressing away, feeling that brace to the belly, pulling it in nice and tight. Arms continue to pump up and down, bringing it back in. One more time here, press those legs away, feel the opening through the spine. Hold here for one more really big breath and let it all go. Nice job. All right. So we get to do the sideline position on the other side. So I'm already queued up here. I guess that actually worked out in the long run. So I want you to face me we're gonna stack, make sure we're good on time still. Perfect. We're gonna stack our elbow or hand right underneath the shoulder. So stacking through the chest, the hips, the knee will stay down, okay? Remember, the bum can stay down or it can lift off. So I want you essentially to come here if you can. Shoulder blades drop down the back, spine is nice and long, stack through the shoulders, stack through the hips, maybe taking that front hip, rolling it forward, that top hip, so it's really braced and stacked. Now, top arm has the choices, remember, can come here, here, it can even come down to the floor for a little bit more support, whatever works for you. Pull the obliques in tight, brace the belly button nice and strong. Good, take that top arm, lift it, top arm, top leg. Arm can come up if it wants. Good, lifting and lowering. Now find the breath. Slow it down. And last one. Leg can stay lifted for the start here or touch down. We're gonna take that top arm, reach it over, find a nice big stretch. So we're C-shaping through the spine, taking the obliques, pressing the hips, the obliques, the side body up to the sky. And then if you want, you can drop the foot if you haven't yet and really press even more, finding just that rainbow arch. Good, the hand will come towards the temple. The leg will again elevate if possible. We're gonna take that rotation, so bringing the elbow down towards the hand, rotating through, keeping the shoulder blade nice and wide, and just letting that elbow drop down as you face towards the floor. Good, stay with this lift. Keep lifting that bottom hip off the floor if you can. Challenge yourself, we're almost to the end. Last one here. Good, now stack through the knees. Let them both be bent towards the floor. Hips down just to start. We're gonna take the hands again and have them right underneath the shoulders. So to do that, I want you to take the chest and think about twisting right from the belly button, maybe a little bit above, right from that breastbone, and face towards the floor. Now lift that hip off. So the knees are still stacked, the hips are hopefully still open and stacked, and the chest is rotated. We're gonna come through with some push-ups. Good, so keep continuing to pull the elbows into the spine, lifting and lowering. Take 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Good. Now I'm gonna rotate around just so you can see me. We're coming down to the belly and gonna finish off there today. So come down to your belly, onto the floor, and just take a minute to just find a breath. Hands can come wherever feels good. Just kind of reconnect, try to slow the breath down just for a moment here. And then I want you to start taking the hands in and let the fingertips reach away, pull the elbows in, and I want you to bring the palms kind of close to underneath the shoulders if you can. I'm losing my words again. So take a minute and then just squeeze the back body and press up and find that cobra pose. And you may find you need to maybe walk the elbows underneath the shoulders a little bit more. That's okay. This is a little bit more like relaxing, and I want you to find the activation through the back still. So maybe resist that urge and see if you can pull the elbows back. So you're still finding a little bit of softness, the forearms are still down, but you're pulling the shoulders away from the ears and finding length through the entire back body here, squeezing and pulling from the hips all the way through the head. Good. Now touch down. Find your breath again, slowing it down. Maybe give everything a little soft shake if you need to. And then this time, I want you to squeeze the back body, kind of start to tuck the tailbone under. Activate that lower belly by pulling it in, lifting it off the mat, and then press through the hands and see if you can find a little bit more lift here. Good, now while you arrive, then pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. Pull the head even longer. Stretch through the neck, tuck the chin. Avoid peeking to me, find that nice long spine. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. This time, take the arms nice and wide, reaching away from you. So kind of like a Superman pose, a little bit longer away. And we're gonna press through the hands, similar to before, tucking the back, tucking that tailbone, finding length through the back, and then press up and find that stretch. Good, so it feels a little bit different. It's a little bit harder on the back, on the arms, the shoulders. There's not as much there to support you, so really brace the back, the lower belly, feel that strength, and then lower down. This time as you come up, same thing with the chest, but we'll take the legs and lift them up as well. So squeezing through the back body, lifting the legs, lift the chest. Feel that lift, that squeeze through the entire back. Hold here. Good, and lower down. We'll come through with that one more time. Press through the hands, the feet, lift off. Hold here. Good, now touch down. Legs and arms are still long. We're gonna alternate front arm, back leg, lifting up, feeling that stretch, and lower back down. Other side, lift up, and lower down. Coming back to the front, lift up. This time, take the arm, pull it down the back like you're swimming. I keep thinking about summer, I think. Lower back down. Take the back arm, front leg, squeeze through the shoulder blades. Think about there's space there that you're rolling through. Extend long and touch down. Back to the front, same thing as before. Lift, pull off, squeeze, extend. One more time like this for this side. Pull down the back. This time as we pick up, we'll take both feet and arms, lift up, just find that Superman, that flight. Good, lower back down. Really squeezing the back body, see if you can lift off even more. Hold here, now try to lift the belly button, pull it into the spine. Good, lower back down. Same as before, we'll lift off here, but take the arms, pull them down the back, both at the same time, reaching down the spine. Extend long. Now touch everything down. Last one, you ready? Take it off, lift off. Take the arms, pull them down the back. Feel that stretch, feel that strength. Hold here. Find one more really, really, really big breath. And extend. Now let it go. Good. Take the arms, press them underneath the chest. Roll yourself back to that child's pose. Can't believe we're already out of time. So start to just roll through the spine. Bring yourself to that cat and cow pose. Maybe shifting yourself forward and back. A nice big roll through the spine. Hands will walk themselves away a little bit further. We'll shift through, rolling through the spine. Maybe this time peek the chest through, finding that opening through the spine. Doing what feels right to you. Coming through one more time. Rolling through the spine, finding that breath, that slow, steady breath. Feeling that stretch. And shifting yourself back. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming to that seated stacked spine. We'll take the arms out in front, crossing them across the chest. Nice job today. I was tired, but I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it. It is a lot. It's a lot on the mind. I find that this week, I don't know, as maybe we're getting further in and we're finding that there's a lot of changes happening and kids are going to be home longer, even though my kids are thrilled and I am too to have my kids home. It is a lot more on the brain. So I want to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Please check in if there's anything that you need. Check in with the instructors, the club, participate in these classes. Even if maybe it's not your jam and you don't typically love to dance, or you may not be into yoga or whatever class it is that you have never tried. Maybe it's just seeing that familiar face of someone that you know from the club and just knowing that your peers are in it with you is all that you need to just kind of turn the mind around and kind of just get back into that. We're getting one day closer to being able to be back together again. So please take care of yourselves. We miss you so much. We cannot wait to see you all. I know I keep saying it, but I truly can't. I can't wait till we're all back together again. But until that moment comes, keep participating in these classes. There are even more being added. The fitness center is adding awesome classes, and I think next week there'll be some more Les Mills classes coming. So pay attention to the schedule.